Hello and welcome, I'm SerroDan, and in this video we'll be going over the visual process that is needed to obtain the Bound Shadehound. You may wonder what this mount's relevance is, and why it's slightly more desired. Well, this mount is one of 3 mounts that can be used whilst in the moor, so if you're not having fun spending hours of your life climbing up the twisted corridors, not having the luck on your side to see one drop from the Shadehounds event, or just fed up of stealing Outriders mounts, then this mount could be for you. Before we jump right in, there are 2 things to bear in mind. Though to obtain the mount there are only a few steps, one of the steps is Blizzard's favoured grinding style gameplays, which could take up to 2 to 8 hours, depending on how dedicated you are. So, there's your warning. The other is that you need to be exalted or max rep with Venari. Otherwise, step 1. To the moor we go. As of patch 9.0.5, Venari will hold a new item for sale, and only to those who are max reputation with him. Her. Either way, this item is called the Stygia Dowser, which can be bought for 1500 Stygia. And what this does, it allows you to see and collect from Stygia Nexuses, which will be mandatory later on. Step 2 will take you to the Altar of Domination within Perdition Hold. Casually, stealthing past all the mobs, and before you get to this big gate of Domination Keep, you will see a grapple hook which you can click on to jump up to. Follow the wall all along using all the grappling hooks you can see, you will eventually come across some jailer fart clouds which will lead you up to a tower you can swing up to. Upon reaching to the top of the tower, you will see that you will get an extra action button, and upon clicking it you will go all Casper the Friendly Ghost with a chest in the middle of the tower. Before interacting with the chest, make note even of everything that is going on. Look up to the points of each spike circling the tower. You will see runes, and these runes will also match up with what is floating above the chest in the middle there. What you need to do is you need to match up the runes that are above on the spikes here to the chest in the middle in this order. To swap the runes around, you simply need to click one and then the other of which you wish to swap it with. Upon getting the right order, you will open the chest to find a Crumbling stele. But be careful, you do have 15 minutes of this buff, and likewise, you only have a small amount of interactions, i.e. swaps of runes, before you actually get locked out for 2 hours. When you have obtained this stele, you can then head back to Venari for step 3, where you will have once again another item to be able to purchase, and this is a partial rune codex. This can be bought for 2000 Stygia. And if you were to interact with this codex, you'll notice that there are some pages missing, so we need to go and find them. The first page is found at the Tremaculum, near where we first saved Anduin for the first time. So through this portal here, careful, dodge those threatening spikes, and at the end, under this dainty looking axe, you will find a binding page. The second page can be found in Perdition Hold, over here on this platform on the floor. The third is found within the Beast Warrens, in this cave located here, through the mobs, next to this altar, under this magical floating scroll you will find your third and final page. And now that you have all of these pages, interact with them to add them to your codex. Upon adding the last, it will then transform into an intact Rune Codex epic item. Step 4, 5, or 6, whichever you prefer to do the tedious step on, I suppose. But it needs to be done. We need to make our way up to the Soul Steel Anvil, which is located within the Domination Keep. Use these grapple hooks, and upon clicking the anvil, you can see that you can make 2 items. A armoured husk, and Stygia bars. And these bars is the long task here, because we need to make 10 of them, which requires us to gather 200 Stygia dust and silver. And to gather these materials, we need to find many, and I mean many, Stygia Nexuses and use our Stygia Dowser. These Nexuses can be seen on the minimap, so well, there you go, you got your sprinkle of hope and happiness there. But a good hint for you to better locate these is to know that they generally spawn next to or near grapple hooks. So if you're directly on top of one of the nodes on the minimap and you can't find this Nexus, look up and see what grapple points you may need to take in order to get there. But here's the kicker. Only a single person can loot these Nexuses. There you go, I just took your sprinkle of hope and happiness away from you just like that. So you're battling with everyone else in the area, which sucks. I have no idea why it's designed like this and they're not like herbs or mining rocks, but who am I to question Blizzard's intentions? We humble players have got no say. Something to note though, if you have stolen one of those Outrider mounts and you find a Nexus, make sure you dismount first before clicking your Dowser. Otherwise, it's sad. So it's sad. But the best place I found to gather quick Nexuses was to sling my hook around the Beast Warrens like Spider-Man. There are many spawn points here and the respawn is not too long. Step 5 and 6 are easy and can be done whilst collecting all of these materials, so if you need a break from gathering, this might be a breath of fresh air. But step 5 will require you to gather up a stray soul from the River of Souls to obtain a willing wolf soul. That was a tongue twister. But this stray soul will run up the river from the very southern point to the most northern point, and will keep doing this. So you can simply camp the river for 5 minutes, see it appear on your minimap, run over it, and go pet it. Step 6 requires you to obtain the Soul Forger's tools, which can be dropped from the rare Soul Forger Rovus, who is located at the top of Zovol's Cauldron. This is a 100% drop after you have the full Codex. Note that his respawn timer is around 1 hour. Now that you have gotten all of your items, head back over to the Soul Steel Anvil where you can create all your Stygia bars to make your armoured husk. Okay, so step 7, hope you're still with me. The last step, don't worry, it's almost over. And trust me, I feel your pain. Now comes the binding ritual. Over here in Cockyrus, more likely Cosiris, you will find an interactable altar. Click it, don't be afraid of the swirls below your feet, they won't harm you. And upon completing, you will have a quest. Accept this, and within your bags, you can find a way to summon a feral shadehound we need to tame. Do not click this yet. First, click your stele you still have to find your pattern that needs to be done in order. Take a picture, take a screenshot, and then mount the feral shadehound. Perform the right clicks in order to match your stele, and then you've just gotten yourself some speedy legs to run around in the moor. Never coming back. Worth it. Cockyrus. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps out a lot more than you would think. And I shall see you in the next video. Take care.